Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears. Breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
To Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, though, man. But I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning, and welcome to the program. Today is Friday, February 21st, 2025. Well, here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's try and project forward 4 years from now, well, less than 4 years from now, to the year 2028, right? Yeah. That's when the next presidential election will be. It's just weird because this month and one day of Donald Trump's second term has felt like a really long period of time, and we're only 1 month in. So I'm going to try and project forward because we got to find a way to get out ahead of the worst case scenario. And I don't know what's going to happen in the meantime. I got some stuff where air traffic controllers can no longer do their job, meaning there very well may be more flight and aviation incidents. The measles outbreak that was in Texas is now spreading, and you guys know how incredibly contagious the measles is. And one of the worst side effects of measles, not just death, but blindness. So there's that. You've got the upending of DEI, which is now basically being interpreted as black people stay away or anything related to trying to right the wrongs or level a playing field, because for a long time race was used to exclude people from different parts of society and different government sectors, et cetera. So now that has reverted back to how things were prior to the civil rights movement. So there's going to be a lot of those things that are going to happen in the next 4 years. But Donald Trump is not joking about running again for a third term. He's not kidding. He brings these things up tongue in cheek, and he gets a laugh out of people. But I think he is really, really serious. Now, again, I don't know all of the details of what is going to happen in the next 3 years of this presidency. I can't even begin to imagine. Now I got a story right here where he's trying to disband the damn post office. Every single day it is something. Yesterday I counted something like 35 or 40 different stories coming from different parts and pieces of the administration and people he appointed that are just doing unusual and unthinkable things. Nobody has their eye on Elon Musk. Elon Musk is just roaming freely throughout the federal government. taking all of our information, our personal information, our private information that is protected under judicial order, under court order, and under the Constitution. Elon Musk has got all of it. Not to mention, he can put it all into some algorithms, feed it all into AI, and we are screwed. So we have to try and look forward or project what can we do to stop this man from running for a third term. How we can stop him in the meantime, I don't know. The only entity that can put any kind of guardrails on him, any kind of guardrails, are Republicans in the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives, and they simply refuse to do it. I've never seen anything like this. They're afraid of him. I remember when Republicans were tough, and it was the Democrats that would be the kids getting bullied in the schoolyard. The Republicans didn't stand for it. They were staunch supporters of the separation of powers and the three branches of government. And even if Ronald Reagan went too far out of line, Republicans in the House, Republicans in the Senate, they would check Ronald Reagan. It was Republicans that told Richard Nixon, dude, you got two choices, Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon said, well, what are my two choices? Either you resign or we are going to kick you out of office. That was his own party that told him that. If you stay in office, we are going to impeach you and convict you. Your other choice that you have is to resign. And what did Richard Nixon do? He literally quit because his party threatened him and he listened to the threats of his party. None of that exists anymore. And I think for a really long time, we as Americans, we relied on that. We relied on the branches of government to keep one another in check to prevent the situation that we are seeing right now. Clearly, we can't prevent it. And the other thing I've come to realize is we can't do anything to stop it. Other than people posting stuff on social media like, yeah, Donald Trump is a jerk. Boy, he sure is a terrible person. Like, that does nothing. There's nothing that can stop this. Like, nothing in the meantime. We're going to see what happens next week, Friday, when, is it the world or just us in America going to do a one-day boycott of stuff? You guys familiar with this? So next Friday, February 20, I don't want to laugh. It's not a boycott if you're telling the world it's just for one day. Like, what kind of point do you prove by not buying stuff on one day? If you're just probably going to buy stuff on the next day. Now, if you all stocked up on stuff and said, we're not going to buy anything from any business, company, or manufacturer or Amazon or whatever for a month, different story. But for one day, that's like getting divorced from your spouse for one day to teach them a lesson. Well, I'm going to divorce you on Friday. We'll be back together on Saturday, though. Hope you learn your lesson. I suppose I got to give people credit for wanting to try something. I don't even know what it's supposed to do. Like, what's going to happen? So we don't buy stuff for a day. A bunch of companies, maybe they lose money, and then they'll be like, oh, us companies that lost money on people not buying stuff for one day, and maybe they're going to get mad at Trump because we don't buy stuff. Or how about this? Let's say the boycott of whatever and everything next Friday is successful. And Americans, I don't know, how much money do we spend in a day? A few billion? And we don't spend a few billion on that one day. What if the companies just raise the prices the next day? You ever think about that? Has anybody ever thought about that? I was consumed by the fact that when businesses were forced to shut down during the COVID, next month is 5 years since COVID hit the United States of America. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of commemorations because my, oh my, did COVID change the world. So that's next month. I'm going to be giving you all sorts of details about how our world has been completely and permanently changed because of the COVID. I can't believe it's been 5 years. And I think for the most part, it's been eradicated. Like, do people still get COVID? I guess so. I guess we don't hear about it nearly as much. I was consumed by the fact that a lot of businesses and companies had to shut down because we wanted to stop the spread of COVID. And we were told that it was going to be temporary. Like, we're just going to close businesses for a little while, going to get COVID under control, or we're going to get a vaccine and everything's going to be fine, but we got to shut stuff down. And it was more than just a few companies and businesses that shut down. Some shut down permanently. Some could not weather the storm of being told that they could no longer produce or operate. And a lot of businesses didn't return. I feel bad for a lot of small businesses, a lot of mom and pop shops. They couldn't weather the storm, even though there were government grants and stimmies. Sometimes it's not enough. And so what happened after that, and I think we're still seeing it right now, and this is why there's a reluctance, like a pure unwillingness for Donald Trump to tackle prices. At least Kamala Harris. I got to stop bringing up the stuff that Kamala Harris would have done because she was a woman that was part black, not quite black enough. She was Southeast Asian, maybe too much Southeast Asian. And what else about her? She went to law school. She was a lawyer. Apparently, she locked up a bunch of black people. We just hated her, but at least she had somewhat of a plan, like a skeleton plan or a sketch of how she was going to hold corporations accountable for this thing called price gouging. So when businesses were ordered to close and they weren't making any money and any profit, did you think that they weren't going to get their lick back? Do you think that businesses and companies and corporations that a lot of Americans rely on for every damn thing we buy were not going to raise prices to make up for the profit that they lost? They did. And I think that the inflation numbers that we saw was really dogged Joe Biden. Joe Biden was dogged by a lot of things. Poor fella. He's just, now, where's Joe? Anybody check on Joe? We don't even know where Joe is. Joe Biden might not even know where Joe Biden is right now. Poor fella. He's somewhere. He fell down and can't get up. You remember them commercials? I've fallen and I can't get up. Now Joe Biden falls, people just leave him down there. Poor Joe. Joe, thank you for your service, buddy. People didn't respect you like they should have, Joe. I feel bad for you. You tried. Businesses raised their prices, and then we said, well, it's inflation. I mean, inflation, of course, was at play because whenever you print money, and we printed a bunch of money. How many stimmies did we get? 4? 5? Some of them were doubled up. I think I got a 2 stimmy check in one check. Got a bunch of stimmies. So whenever you print money and put more money into circulation and there's no actual productivity behind the money that was printed, then the value of the dollar is going to go down. Plus, you had companies and businesses and firms raising prices to make up for the profit that they didn't make. And then there you go. You have this huge economic impact where the dollar is worth less and prices are going up. And it squeezed a lot of people. It really did. And so now you fast forward to now where prices are still high. Has anybody checked on the price of eggs? Where do y'all shop at? Because sometimes people will post a picture of a dozen eggs for like $3. And then sometimes you guys will post a picture of a dozen eggs for $19.42. I don't know where you guys are getting your eggs from. At this point, just get a chicken. How much is a chicken? Chickens can't be expensive. Where you go get a chicken at? Go to a farm and just steal a chicken. Get you a couple chickens. Don't chickens lay? How many eggs they lay? Get you about 3-4 chickens. I think they lay 2 eggs a week. So you get you 6 chickens. You get you a dozen eggs a week. And then there you go. You can sell the eggs like dope. Yo, I got 2 for $5, son. These scramble real nice. These make a nice over easy. Donald Trump is not going to enforce any kind of price gouging rules. Why would he? Because the additional profit that is being made from those businesses and those companies are probably going into his campaign coffers. Here's something else that I want you guys to pay attention to. So right now we're going to project forward into the future, into the year 2028. Let's try and prevent Donald Trump from running for a 3rd term. I don't even know how, but we have to stop that. If Donald Trump is still raising money for his reelection campaign, can somebody check that out? You guys have more access to Google than I do right now. Right now I got a bunch of stuff I need to talk about. Can you see if Donald Trump has a reelection campaign account? And if he is raising money and making deposits, is he going to run? Is he seriously going to run in 2028? He keeps joking about it, but if he's actually raising money and putting it into his campaign fund for 2028, I think he's going to run for a 3rd term. We have to try and stop him from doing that because there's not a whole heck of a lot, especially if the Republicans are neutered and wanted to stop him like Republicans used to stop bad Republican presidents like they did with Richard Nixon. If Republicans cannot stop Donald Trump right now, then I think we're going to have to get a little bit more assertive, and we're going to have to do more than just a one-day boycott. What if you need like a new engine in your car and you're not going to buy a new engine, you can't get your auto repaired because it's boycott day? I don't know. I don't think any of you guys are really going to stick to that. It's hard to not buy stuff. Sometimes I go on Amazon when I'm bored and just see what they have on Amazon. We got to prevent this man from running a 3rd term. The Democrats right now are of no use, but I can't blame them because nobody's ever seen this before. They can't mount an offense. They can't even mount a defense right now. And eventually, I don't know, 6 months, give or take, when we start talking about the midterm elections in 2026, Democratic presidential hopefuls will begin to surface, and then we're all going to fight amongst one another because we're going to hate all of them. There is not a single person that can unite this nation. We're more divided than ever, and the Democrats are probably going to be even more divided than the Republicans. At least the Republicans have a Republican in the White House. They may not like him. They may not agree with him. If anything, Republicans will turn on Trump because of what Elon Musk is going to do, because there will be high-level Republicans that will be targeted accidentally. Elon Musk is going to go after them, or some of their personal private data is going to be breached. That is where I think the Republicans will begin to turn on Trump. But until that happens, they're just going to allow him to do whatever he's going to do. But I think we, the body politic of this nation, if we're able to get through the next 4 years, I'm also concerned about war in Europe. And I know a lot of you are not concerned about war in Europe because over the last several few years, you guys have expressed disgust and disdain for American tax dollars going to support Ukraine. I'm in defense of that because if Russia is able to take territory from Ukraine, if they're able to capture the capital of Ukraine, and Volodymyr Zelensky is executed, then Vladimir Putin will invade another country in Europe, probably Poland. Poland always gets invaded. Poland is very good at not putting up a good defense. I remember seeing old footage in World War II when the Nazis came to invade Poland. You know what the Polish people did to try and defend themselves from the Nazis? Picked up a bunch of sticks and threw rocks and made mud balls and threw them at the Nazis, and the Polish people got obliterated. Not only did they get obliterated, most of the concentration camps that exterminated the Jews in World War II were in Poland. Poland does not put up a very good fight. Vladimir Putin takes over Ukraine. He moves into Poland next. Poland is a NATO country. Now Europe is at war. We're going to be involved in that because then it's just a matter of time before somebody attacks us. Pearl Harbor all over again. I'd like to prevent that. The draft does still exist, even though they say it's defunct. If we really need service members, but don't worry, if you're trans, they won't draft you. You think I wouldn't pretend to be trans if they sent me a draft letter? Well, I'm too old. FYI, ladies and gentlemen, because they're not allowing trans people in the military. So these are all plausible things, you guys. Everything is possible now. So if Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin come to a resolution about what happens with Ukraine, which includes us, the United States, no longer helping Ukraine defend itself against Russia, Russia then takes Ukraine, invades the next European country. Europe is at war. America's going to have to send troops because we've got interests in Western Europe and in Eastern Europe. The United States does. And we aren't getting people to sign up for the military anymore because, come on, why would you? And if they draft people, just say you're trans because then they won't draft you. I'm like, okay, hi, Sherwin Hughes. Thank you for reporting for draft duty. All right, Sherwin. So give us a little information about yourself. Yeah, I'm trans. I'm actually Sherweena. My name is Sherweena, so I'm actually, I feel like a woman. Oh, are you trans, Sherwin? Yep, I'm pretty trans. All right then, Sherwin. Sorry, we're not going to accept it. Oh shucks. All right, Sherwin, you get on out of here with your trans self, and I'll sashay away. That's not transphobic, is it? If I say I sashay away, I gotta play the part that I'm a trans. I guess I would be a trans woman. I'd be a trans woman to not get drafted to the war. Ricky, you better work on your trans impression because they draft you. And I don't know if you would be a good soldier, Ricky. You need to show up to the draft meeting with a wig on. What would your lady name be? I guess Raquel. Rakina.
What?
If you got drafted to go into a war that might start in the next couple of years, you know they're not accepting trans people in the military. So I would suggest you say that you're trans so you don't get drafted. But you can't use Rick as a name. You got to have a lady name.
At the end of the day,
yes,
as men, we got to have some type of dignity.
No, not when it comes to going to war. I'm not going to shoot nobody.
I'm not finna pretend to be a trans.
Hell, I would.
To avoid war. If it's your calling, it's your calling.
No, it's not to be Trump's calling. I'm not, no.
Be a man about it.
No, you're out your mind. You think I'm going and getting shot in my ass for this country?
All right, do your impersonation of a trans woman.
Nope, you're trying to get me in trouble. I'm not doing that. We love all the people.
You said that you will play a trans in order to avoid a war. So what's your trans name and how would you sign?
So Sherweena is my name.
Sherwin. Oh.
And actually I have, because I was Rick James for Halloween about 10 years ago, so I do have a wig that I put on. I show up to the draft meeting like, hey, everybody, how you doing? Like, are you Sherwin Hughes? I used to be.
That would not be your trans voice. Do your trans voice.
No, I'm not. I'm sounding. Listen, trans people can sound just like this.
Hi.
Don't do, Rick.
My name is Sherwin.
Hey, dog. You better chill. All right, now they ain't playing around here at Good Karma Brands.
Oh, I know. I got.
You know what I mean? Be careful. Don't get fired now.
I got the email.
Okay, now. Maybe we should take a break before you get fired. All right. Talking about my trans voice is this. I don't have to change my voice to be. I hope trans people are not mad at me.
I would be.
The Africans are mad at me. That's fine because they're disorganized. But the trans people, I don't want to get them mad. I would just be a member of the community to prevent going to war. I guess that's probably not fair.
Scary to me.
That's like somebody pretending to be black to get a scholarship. You know, like a white person. There's a movie about that called Soul Man. Came out in the 80s. A white person put on blackface so they could get into a black college for free. Okay, let me take a break before I get canceled. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes or Sherweena, whichever you prefer. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by Fidelity Wealth Management.
We believe that we're here to assist those students. They may not understand the maze of higher education, but we are here to help them wind their way through that maze.
That's Dr. Margaret McMenamin, president of Union College of New Jersey, a school that prides itself on helping students from underserved and underprivileged communities reach their dreams through higher education. It launched Project Achievement, specifically aimed to increase the graduation rate of black male students. Dr. Damon Hargrove is VP of Student Development, and he spoke to Bloomberg about why initiatives like Project Achievement matter.
We explain to the men entrepreneurship, the value of their college degree. We always end our meetings by saying that it's worth it. What we do, what you're doing, you may not see it now, but it's worth it.
With Project Achievement and other initiatives, Union College has already seen improvement in the graduation rate of their black male student population. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Happy Black History Month from the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. The Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network values and celebrates the wealth of diversity reflected in the patients, families, workforce, and communities it serves. What is so beautiful about their efforts is they aim to deliver healthcare services that meet the social, cultural, and linguistic needs of their patients. By addressing social determinants of health like education, employment, and food insecurity, they know it can help them in offering the best possible health outcomes and quality of care for patients while also working to eliminate racial and ethnic health disparities impacting our community. The Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network has made it a goal to be a leader of change in our community and so much more because health equity is fundamental to the organization's mission and simply the right thing to do. Join 1017 The Truth and the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network as we celebrate Black excellence with you during Black History Month.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Well. It's like the phone calls are starting early this morning. I do have a story about Donald Trump continuing to poke and prod and test the waters and get reactions from people about him running a third term. Typically what happens when a president has maxed out, they've gotten elected to their second term because constitutionally a president cannot serve more than 2 terms. They endorse their vice president because that's just what they do, right? You would think that J.D. Vance is the heir apparent because legally and constitutionally Donald Trump cannot. He is not allowed, or I thought he wasn't allowed to run a third term. This is what is so hard for a lot of us to digest, and I know this government, how it works pretty well. No rules apply anymore. There were some rules that existed that no one ever even tested because you didn't, because it was ridiculous and it violated like a real oath to the American people. None of that exists anymore. And so when I see people, posting stuff on social media and they're having conversations amongst themselves, oh, Trump can't do that. Yes, he actually can, because there is nobody to stop him. Oh, Sherwin, he can't get away with that. Yes, he can. He has a South African national essentially going through every single department of the government and firing everybody. But here's the thing. They're going to buy some of y'all back. I'm not sure if I want to talk about the article, but apparently with all the money that they are saving by firing government employees, they want to give Americans either 5,000 Doge coins or $5,000 in Doge coins. To shut Americans up, all you got to do is give us a check. You know how many people voted for Donald Trump because they thought that one of the stimmy checks was actually from him? You guys remember when George W. Bush stole the 2001 presidential election? Most of y'all don't remember that. You know what he did? First thing he did, because he knew what Americans were mad at him because they stole that election. They stopped counting votes in Florida when George W. Bush was up 531 votes. All of the votes in Florida were not counted. The U.S. Supreme Court intervened back then and said, he's winning by enough in Florida. Call it and give George W. Bush the 26 or 27 electoral votes in Florida. Stop counting the votes. And you know whose votes they didn't count? Ours. We voted for Al Gore in that election. Black folks did. But they stopped counting our votes. So George Bush knew that he was going to be in hot water with the American people because that was a major violation of one of the most significant tenets of our democracy. You count every vote. So he gave us stimulus checks. Y'all remember that? That was big money back then. For an individual, you got $600. Families got $900. And then Tommy Thompson did the same thing because he was governor of Wisconsin. We got a $200 stimulus check from Tommy Thompson. And then what had happened with Tommy Thompson? He ultimately got selected to be the Health and Human Services Secretary under George W. Bush. Americans will shut up if you give us a check. Let's talk to someone who definitely shuts up for a check. Bob, what does DEI stand for?
Oh, man. Diversity, and equity, and if you get 2 of them, I've had a doctor that said 3 words. He came to my house, and he said, if you get 2 words, you got 90% of what everybody does, and that is excellent. So I got 2 words. Now,
what's the
I go on? Oh, please. Oh, man, I got 2 words.
Inclusion.
Why? Include? Okay.
Inclusion.
Inclusion.
Every time you call, Bob, I'm going to need you to know what DEI is. We're going to get your memory back to where it used to be. We're going to play these little memory games so you can remember stuff. It's going to make it easier for you to remember stuff every time you call.
Well, I tried to call or Corey. I apologize about not remembering his perfect name. Said, you are not in DEI because the white people own your radio station. But then I asked you twice, and you will not answer. So I believe
Here, ask me again. Bob, your questions are so convoluted that they're hard to answer. So if you had a question for me about me being DEI, ask the question again, and I'll answer it.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you associated with DEI in any kind of way?
Probably.
Sir?
Yes, probably. Yes.
Oh, I understand a lot now. Oh, I'm glad you answered the question.
What revelation have you come from? Because this radio station didn't have a black brand prior to the truth. So maybe we are a DEI radio station. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it's written down anywhere. I don't know if it's in the handbook. But yeah, probably.
I believe you are. And the reason I say that it's a whole lot of reasons. But one reason is interesting. Dr. King says on his show, in his soliloquy, that is kind of rough
You
word.
say soliloquy. You don't know what DEI stands for. Bob, get to the point, man. Hurry up. Get to it.
He says, if you murder me, and if you listen to it, it sounds like the woman he's talking about, if she murdered somebody. But she did. Your neighbor, if your neighbor murdered somebody, and for somebody that has a doctorate degree, should have corrected that. I don't care what you say. I don't care what Dr. King say.
Whoops. We must have got a bad connection on it. What was that? Ricky, you ain't no help. You supposed to screen that. You didn't screen him.
I did screen him. He wanted to talk about you being a trans woman.
That's what he told you?
Yeah.
So when was he going to get to that part?
Bob, just me and Bob. He talks about a whole lot of nothing before he gets to his point.
All right, well, I got to take a break now. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be one of those days, ain't it? I do have a little segment about women getting married and marriage rates. I'm scared to touch that because it's going to be one of those days where people are going to be flying off the rails. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. When I come back, I'm going to talk about Donald Trump joking about running for a 3rd term. Hey, we need to prevent that. So why don't we all come together, the black people and the white people and the Catholics and the Jewish people and the Lutherans and the Episcopalians and the Methodist people, the biracial people, the Mexicans, however many of them are left in the country. Can we all come together? And the Puerto Ricans, shout out to the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans and people from Florida. Like, we all got to come together to make sure that Trump does not run for a 3rd term. I don't know how we're going to do it, but let's start formulating that now. Maybe it requires us to do a second boycott, but let's start working on a formula where we can prevent Trump from getting on the ballot in 2028. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Thank you, Truth Nation. Because of your unwavering and incredible support, we are proud to announce that we are officially sold out for our first annual Truth Community Awards. We are so excited to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community with you on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Congratulations to the 10 award recipients we will honor that night. They are Dr. Tamika Johnson, Eric Shake James, Ebony Solly, Carvel Brooks, Chris Abele, Walter Stern, Latrice Harris, Melody Madden, Justin McCoy, and Minister Kevin Simmons. Thank you for all of your positive contributions to the city of Milwaukee and beyond. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. Visit paysbig.com. Sponsored by Community Advocates, where meeting basic needs inspires hope. And brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Ben Jammin with his truth.
Truth Nation and all the juicy jammers out there, can I be honest? Honest about what? Honest about me. Honest about following your dreams. Matthew 16, verse 26. What is it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? I didn't know what I was getting into when my mother birthed me. I never imagined walking out of a job would lead me here. Back in 2017, I was working third shift at a grocery store, hating it. I knew I had to make a change. One day I walked out. No plan, just a leap of faith. 2 months later, I got a job with V100, and it was on and popping. I met Wiz Khalifa, Jerry Springer, Ice Cube, and Charlamagne the God. But in 2020, everything changed. COVID hit, and I was furloughed. But it gave me clarity. Clarity on who I was, who my real friends were, and what I truly wanted. After 8 months, I got an opportunity with 1017 The Truth. I got the chance to speak on air, and things took off. I started as a producer, and now I'm the host of Jammin' with Juice. I've spoken with the White House, NBA All-Stars, and even killed an unreleased track with one of your favorite rappers. Through it all, I remained vulnerable with you, Truth Nation, especially after losing my dad. But here's the truth. It's not just about following your dreams. It's about preparing for them. What you want to happen is going to happen. But if you're not ready for it, you have to watch it pass you by. As a great prophet once said, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So if we're waiting for the divine timing of the George Floyd assassination, the time that I took for myself to become greater, or the vision of the CEO of our company, 1017 The Truth, or myself wouldn't be here. So I'll call it divine timing. I can tell you to follow your dreams, but it's much better if you prepare for them.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Stay Woke said I need to get up and move around. I shouldn't be sitting here for 3 hours. I do get up and move around. I get some steps in while I'm here in the studio. I got to go over to this computer sometimes. Sometimes I got to go over there and get my steps in here. We got to make sure that Donald Trump does not step into a third term. From the Washington Post, President Donald Trump yesterday again raised the prospect of serving an unconstitutional third term, asking a crowd at the White House event whether he should run again and receiving audience chants of 4 more years. I hope this wasn't at the Black History Month commemoration they did at the White House. Please tell me it wasn't black folks chanting 4 more years. I got a sincere question, ladies and gentlemen. I know sometimes I joke, right, and I'm poke fun and stuff, right? I got a serious question. Am I missing something? Is Donald Trump actually covertly, secretly doing really positive and great things for the Black African-American Negro community, and I'm just missing them? Am I so far separated from Republican policies? Am I missing something? Is he actually doing something for us that I'm not noticing? Because if so, please tell me, and I will do an about face, if Donald Trump is actually putting things in place that's helping the black people and the black children that I'm missing, because I would rather talk about that. What if he's doing magical things for us and I'm just missing it? Because I don't understand. I think this was at the Black History event yesterday at the White House where people were chanting 4 more years. That's so wild. Now I'm starting to be a little concerned that I could be blind to what is actually happening. Is he doing things for black folks? Do you guys feel healthier? Do you feel safer? Do you feel more secure? Am I looking at the elimination of DEI wrong? Is it a good thing? Maybe we are just Americans, and you black people have been making too much noise about race. Maybe it is time for us to just be American people, not black American people. Is that what it is? The suggestion followed a stretch of days in which Trump referred to himself as king and quoted a dictator in suggesting that he was immune from following American laws, all while his administration has continued pushing the bounds of presidential power. Trump's escalating rhetoric stoked further alarm among critics who say he is governing with an authoritarian playbook and fear he could attempt to seize power undemocratically, as he attempted to do after losing the 2020 election. The Constitution's 22nd Amendment limits presidents from holding office more than twice. You know what I also come to find out? Some of the people that got pardoned January 6th had gun charges. Listen to me now, listen. There were felons that stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021 that got charged for whatever damage they did to the Capitol and breaching the Capitol and harming police officers. But some of them were felons that had firearms. Do you know that they got pardoned for that too? And there was even a guy that had drugs on him. I need you to listen to me now. He was a felon. He had dope on him. He had guns on him. He stormed the Capitol. He hurt police officers, and dude got pardoned for all of that. Now, let me just fast forward a little bit to the 2028. The army that Donald Trump will amass, and they will all be immune because he will pardon any of them that get in any kind of trouble, that get arrested, that get charged. He very well could amass that army again, but have them much more organized. In fact, what if it's the U.S. military? What if he weaponizes the U.S. military to keep him in power? What would we even do? I bet if we assembled a bunch of people in Milwaukee, like revolutionaries that are ready to fight for our country, right? The second American Revolution. I bet you 90% of the people that we would assemble that want to fight for America and make sure Donald Trump doesn't have a third term, like people would get so angry and so fed up that they're willing to do anything to protect this democracy. I bet 90% of the people that we would amass for this revolution probably never even been in a fist fight before. I think liberals would get their asses kicked. They look like they can't fight. I'm going to tell you right now, and I don't want to be discriminatory. Will you guys give me a little grace here? And don't be mean to me if I say this, but if you got blue or pink hair, you can't fight. I know you can't fight. I just don't think so. I don't think that the left can amass the power that it would need to defend itself against a tyrant. Trump's escalating rhetoric stoked further alarm among critics who say he is governing with an authoritarian playbook and fear he could attempt to seize power undemocratically, as he attempted to do after losing the 2020 election. They've learned a lot. He's a lot smarter. His administration is a lot smarter. In his first term, he had people that try to put guardrails on him, and he fired everybody. Remember how many people Donald Trump fired from his administration that first year? Y'all remember that? He was firing people on Twitter. He was firing people left and right. Notice this. He ain't firing nobody now. The only people he's firing now are federal government employees. He's not firing anybody in his cabinet. He's not firing his advisors. He's not firing his chiefs of staff. He is not firing his the military personnel, right? Now he's firing federal employees. During his first term, there were people that were in his administration that tried to keep him on the straight and narrow, tried to keep him following the law, tried to keep him following customs and traditions, and tried to keep him within the bounds of the Constitution. This go round, Trump only picked, selected, and appointed people that will let him do whatever he wants to do. He's learning. He now knows the bounds of what he can do, what he can't do. He learned a bunch from those 2 impeachments. What if this dude is amassing an army? And I know some of y'all are probably thinking, oh, Sherwin, he wouldn't do that. You don't know that. You don't know that. It's been a month. And between him and Elon Musk, it's two people that's decimating the whole federal government. I didn't know that the federal government was that weak. I didn't know that. I thought it was strong. I thought there would be more resistance. There's not. He must have some pretty serious threats he can levy against Republicans that dare speak out against him. There was one Republican in Ohio this week that stood up and said enough is enough. But that's only one. You know how many elected Republicans we have in all 50 states and all the different levels of government? Probably 5, 6, 7,000. And if one of them stood up, that's not enough. Take a break, come back, we're going to take some telephone calls. What do we do to stop this dude from running for a third term? What if he weaponizes the military? And Pete Hegseth, have you guys paid attention to him and his appointment? He's an old drunk pervert womanizer who used to be a Fox News host. Not even a real Fox News host. Dude was like a Saturday host. Not even like a regular host. He was like a fill-in. He is now in charge of the Pentagon. That's 3.3 million people. That is the American military that Pete Hegseth, the Department of Defense, he's got purview over them. And he's a drunk Fox News host that likes to touch women when women say no, he be touching them anyway. Can't do that. You got to get permission to be touched by a woman or let the woman touch you, I guess. But not Pete Hegseth. He just be touching on women.
This is a sick Negro.
But he's white, though. He's a sick white Negro. All right, I'm going to take a break, come back. I just hope they don't weaponize the military. I hope they don't draft me.
At this point, it sounded like a dictatorship.
Oh, it is, yeah. He even said when he was running, I'm going to be a dictator for this one day. He wasn't lying. All those executive orders, that was dictatorship stuff. But they try and draft me. I'm like, I'm trans as hell.
Sherweena, a.k.a. Sher.
Yeah, I'm all that. Yeah, hell yeah. I come up to the draft office with some heels. I mean, hey, y'all, wait a second. Sherwin, it says on your birth certificate that you were born male. That's a typo. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
People often wonder, what's the credit union difference? Well, let me tell you what's different about Educators Credit Union. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a team of people who are actively invested in the next generation and in the communities where you live and work. We're in classrooms teaching financial literacy, in neighborhoods building homes and relationships, and in local communities lending a helping hand. We believe when communities thrive, we all thrive. Educators Credit Union, achieving more together, insured by NCUA.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me.
I am grateful for those who changed yesterday.
But I live in today.
And I pledge I will help shape tomorrow.
Milwaukee College Prep Scholars honor Black History Month not just during February, but each and every day they walk through the door, preparing for a better life for themselves and the world around them. Enroll your scholar at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Eight 833-212-1017, the phone number. Let's talk to Donovan. You're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
All right. What's on your mind, Donovan?
Right now I'm just work.
Got a comment or a question, brother?
I'm driving right now. My God. His birthday tomorrow, I guess his birthday tomorrow. He wanted to be on the radio. I don't know.
Who birthday?
Donovan.
Well, then who am I talking to?
Birthday.
Who are you?
You're talking to his father. I'm his pops. I'm his pops. Can you hear me?
Yeah. And so Donovan, who is that your son?
Yeah, that's my son.
Where is he at right now?
Golden birthday tomorrow. He's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm being chauffeured around.
Your son, whose golden birthday is tomorrow, is chauffeuring you around.
Correct.
Your son, whose golden birthday is tomorrow, he wanted to be on the radio, but I'm talking to you.
Here we go, right here. My bad. Yeah, what's up?
Hi.
Hello. It's my first time on a radio station. I don't know what to say.
Have you been listening to the topics? Because we typically like people to talk about the topics.
What's the topic?
Oh, hell. What's happening? So I'm just a radio station. You just call me. You want to be on the radio. You ain't got to participate. Like, oh, Sherwin, he a hoe. Just call his station. He'll put you on there. No more hoe. I'm not your hoe anymore. Over here trying to prevent Trump from getting a third term. And Donovan and his daddy just going to call me because they just want to be on. And they didn't even have nothing to say. Jules, you're on 1017 The Truth. Is your damn birthday too? Happy birthday, Jules.
Thank you very much. No, not today, but I'll take it.
Do you have a comment?
Thanks for taking my call, sir. Yes, sir. I just had a few observations regarding some of the topics you're touching on. Regarding the third term discussion, I don't know what's going to happen with that, whether that's going to end up being a thing or not. But I do know that if that's the intention, now is the time that Republicans and Trump are going to want to take those steps while the GOP has control of literally all three branches of government. That might not be the case after the next midterms, so they'll want to act sooner rather than later. I also wanted to say that the United States is as vulnerable as it has been in a long, long time. With the actions that we're seeing by this current administration, I think this nation is flirting with an economic disaster, a public health disaster, some national security disaster, even as soon as the next trigger-happy MAGA cop blows away another one of our brothers and sisters. We're facing civil unrest that Trump and MAGA can't wait to handle with an iron fist. So I'm afraid that it will be one or some combination of these things that it will take, and it's going to wake Americans up. I mean, consider what's happening with what they're doing with some of these actions that are underway. The CIA, the FBI, they responded to the September 11th terror attack that led to the creation of the TSA. Well, what's happening with the TSA these days? Remember the pandemic, COVID-19, and how that was handled or mishandled, made worse than it had to be by Trump. Remember which groups were disproportionately impacted? I mean, we got a short memory, Sherwin. One of Trump's first executive orders was to stop us from investigating and foreign interference in elections. I anticipate that in the lead up to the next midterm elections, mark my words, Trump world, anticipating backlash, will take anti-democratic actions to try and shield his party from being punished by voters. And I also believe that people like Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are going to investigate, indict, charge whoever looks like they're going to be the leading Democratic contender. They're going to scout out whoever that might be and go after those people preemptively. I think those efforts are going to be inspired or informed by the things you see in Russia, such as with Alexander Navalny, and mark my words. And frankly, if I'm Democrats, I'm thinking, I mean, in addition to the 90 million eligible U.S. citizens who decided not to vote and decided it didn't matter to them who won, Trump made inroads with blacks and Latinos. So as a Democrat official, a politician, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe let the Americans see and feel what it means for Republicans to be in charge. Maybe when all our school closed, or maybe when they announce you can't buy junk food with your SNAP benefits, or that dialysis sessions will cost $1,200 a pop because it isn't covered under Medicaid or Medicare anymore. Maybe when enough of us have suffered, Americans will wake up and snap out of our apathy, ignorance, and intelligence. And by the time 2028 rolls around, Dems won't have to do all that persuading and convincing, because by that time, people will have lived and learned. I appreciate you letting me get that out, sir.
Thank you, Jules, for that very informative telephone call. You know what I think it is? I think that Americans are awake. We're fully woke. I think people are afraid. That's what it is. I think we are paralyzed with fear. We don't know what to do. So we're trying a one-day boycott next week. There were a couple of protests over the last, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, where people were getting together at state capitals all across the country. That barely moved the needle. I think people are they're afraid and they're paralyzed with fear. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I will be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. Me, your girl Noni Juice, will be joined by Sarah Noble, principal partner of B Noble Group. And in this episode, we have Dr. Sandra Jones, the executive director at Victory Garden Initiative. We will discuss Black love, which is the foundation of our histories. Again, that is More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin, this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Tune in to The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. Me, your girl Noni Juice, will be joined by Sarah Noble, principal partner of B Noble Group. And in this episode, we have Dr. Sandra Jones, the executive director at Victory Garden Initiative. We will discuss Black love, which is the foundation of our histories. Again, that is More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin, this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 101.7 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I mean, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I bet Linda used to dance to this song in the 70s. Wearing some pink sequins hot pants. Oh, look who's on line one. Hello, Linda. How are you? Good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Good Karma Brand. And good morning to all the good black and white people of Milwaukee and America.
Hey, Sherwin.
Hey, Sherwin. I'm so glad I came after your last caller. Boy, did he hit that on the nail. Because, but I have this I want to open up with, the Dunning-Kruger effect. A type of cognitive bias where people with little expertise or ability assume they have superior expertise or abilities. This overestimation occurs as a result of the fact that they don't have enough knowledge, self-assessment, or critical thinking skills to know they don't have enough knowledge. I'm telling you, if that ain't the Trump administration. And Sherwin, another concern I have is this person, this new museum director, went from $149,000 a year to now her salary is at $549,000 a year. How did she get such an astronomical raise?
I know we've invested a lot of money in our museum, and in fact, we're building another museum. And so before people freak out about her salary, I wonder what the average salary is for someone who directs a big city, Class A city museum, number one. Number two, that may not be taxpayer money. Some of that might be grant funded. So I would check into those things. But I don't get mad when I see people's salaries. Because I don't know what that woman's resume is. She might earn
money. I just wonder if it's taxpayers' money. That's all.
Could be.
I don't care how much she makes. If she succeeds, hey, if she earned it, let her get it.
Okay.
But the other thing the concern I have is this education again. You know, how the funds, it just enrages me that the government allotted a child per child a set amount of money, right? And like you said, what's coming out of that check that is directed to that child? The teacher, the paperwork, the secretary, the janitor, all of that. Okay, Sherwin, why should we allow that as parents? If the government has allocated that check for that child, why are these other hands in that child's check? When that mother or that parent take that child out of that presumed schooling, that check goes with that child. So not all of the hands that are given in that check goes with that child. So why can't we as parents legally challenge these tax codes and how these funds are being allocated, which results in what we see, and that is the deprived educational attention that these children have a right to have. Hello, somebody. I think we should challenge that
Well,
tax
we
code
did.
and the allocation.
Well, there was a challenge, and we know that of the $15,000, give or take, that's allocated per child, some of that money goes to the building, the support services, the mental health services, food programs, central offices, all those other things. And so a lot of us feel that, no, you're right, Linda, we agree with you, that too many of those dollars go to ancillary things that are not helping that child do better in reading and math, et cetera. And so when the district asked for additional money without reforming some of the categories that our dollars go to that don't help the child, we still gave the district more money. So if you think that you can mount a successful challenge to the dollars that go per child and we couldn't get the referendum to fail, then that's going to be next to impossible. But I got a saving grace for you, though. So because in the state of Wisconsin, the money follows the child, if you homeschool your child, they will give you that allocation. So if I homeschool 4 kids, they'll give me $60,000. So there's an opportunity for you, and you don't have to have a bloated administration. Like if I homeschool 4 kids, I would be the principal, the school safety, I'd be the lunch lady, I put on a hairnet. What else would I be? I'd be the coach, I'd be the gym teacher. Yeah, give me that money. Give me a classroom full of 4 kids, give me that $60,000.
And here goes my next point, that all retired educators in the city of Milwaukee, considering the failed educational system, should come out of their retirement and offer some tutoring services to these children, as I am. I've contacted a lot of people and state representatives, because I'm not settling. Hello. And also the caller brought to my mind that National Black Summit of Black Empowerment. This is the time. It's everything. They shaking, they moving, they thinking. So why can't we, at this point in time, the bullhorn has been blown, honey? Are we going to stand on the sidelines and just watch and talk about it? Or are we going to help out the children that are rising up depending on us?
Let's do it, Linda. I'm ready. Drop a bomb on the red.
Let's do this, Sherwin. Have a great weekend, Sherwin.
All right, Linda. Let's talk to Sherman. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, how you doing there, Sherwin?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
I'm calling. I'm calling because I wanted to know where are all those Trump supporters like Al from Sherman Park, and some of your colleagues too that was jumping on what's that dude Hunter Biden. They wanted him to go to jail. I just want to know now, since Trump has implemented his plan, Project 2025, where are all those Trump supporters at? Now he's saying that some of the people that's in the military, if they're on disability, they're only going to be on disability for only 10 years. As if a leg get blows off, the leg going to go back in 10 years. If half your body get blowed off, 10 years is all you need to do for your body to grow back. I wonder where they at, since they were so worried about Hunter Biden. And now that he didn't get convicted, how does that make the dude Al from Sherman Park life better? Because remember, he was a gay Republican. He's going to be one of the first ones to get discriminated against because this is what he voted for and this is what he wanted. Notice he don't even call anymore.
You're right. He did call me last week, and he said something very interesting. So Al from Sherman Park called last week, and he's like, "Oh, actually, Donald Trump likes black people, and he looks up to black men." I'm not kidding you. Al from Sherman Park said this live on the air last week. He said Donald Trump gets his personality from Muhammad Ali and Don King because Donald Trump looks up to those men, and I quickly corrected him. I don't think that Donald Trump looks up to anything that's black. But, yeah, he called last week, but he doesn't call very often, but he called last week.
It's just like your last caller just said. He don't know the dude from Al from Sherman Park don't know he's retarded. That's exactly what it is. Because Donald Trump has never shown that he's like black people. Just like the other dude, Donald Byron, Myron, whatever that dude's name is. Trump he did all that sucking for Trump and didn't get no position.
You're right.
Sucking and jive and all this stuff. He was really Pat slapping and that other dude. What's that other dude that looked like a pinto bean?
Hey, Sherman, I got a surprise for you. Hang on a second. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. All right. Al? Is he on the air? Al from... No, I don't hear anybody. What happens if I push...
Hello?
Hello there. Hi.
Hi. I did not call to talk about Donald Trump and Black history. I called to talk about a politician.
Of course you're not going to call and talk about Donald Trump because you're the retard.
Hey, you can't say
You're never going to say anything bad about your dad.
Al, anything? What would you like to say, Al? Hi. Happy Friday.
We could talk about race all day long, and that is not going to put money in your paycheck. Black people's problem is economic, and we've had these black politicians. You see, ahead of the county giving this art director all the $500,000.
County executive doesn't give anybody any salary.
Hey, Sherwin, watch this, Sherwin. Sherwin,
Yeah.
hey, Al from Sherman Park. Of course, you're right. Everything you just said, right. But your main thing was you was harping on Hunter Biden going to jail. Tell me, if he didn't go to jail, if he did go to jail, how much money did they put in your pocket? How tell society how that helped the economics of Milwaukee? Since you just said what you just said.
Let me talk as an individual. Where did I harp on Hunter Biden going to jail? I knew that boy's going to
all the time. Go on now, man. I've been listening to this radio station for years, so stop it. You ain't gonna talk to me like I'm retarded. I know. You think out of all the lies I could have made, why would I make up that lie? You said Hunter Biden needs to go to jail because he did this and he did that. Hunter Biden talking about barista and all the rest of
I'm
those stuff.
talking about Hunter Biden going to jail.
I just said it.
You're projecting what you think I said.
No, I'm projecting what I heard you say. I'm not one of Donald Trump's followers that you're gonna tell me I didn't hear what I hear or saw what I saw. So again, if Hunter Biden went to jail, how much money did it put in your pocket?
Al, the answer is none.
That boy was not going to jail. I knew that boy was not going to jail. I knew that boy was getting pardoned when...
He's grown. He's a man. Not a boy.
So people projecting things that
you
think
so retarded. You so retarded. You won't even admit that you made a mistake. Are you happy with the choice that you made by voting for Trump? That's a yes or no question.
I'm very happy with them going through this budget and finding out where our money is going. It's being wasted, and Democrats are defending the waste of our money. Okay. You heard what Jasmine Crockett said yesterday. Did you hear what the best and brightest Jasmine Crockett said yesterday? What you going to do with $5,000?
Of course, you can always pick on somebody black, Al. You hate your own kind. You hate women, and you hate your own color.
All right,
look,
guys.
She is a elitist politician who is playing on the race card to get away with murder.
All right, I had to hang up because you guys were going to fight. Oh, he hung up too. Did you hang up on him? Did we accomplish anything with that call? Well, here's the thing.
Absolutely not.
So when Sherman called and he was like, oh, Al from Sherman Park doesn't call, I'd like to hear from him. And then I referenced when Al from Sherman Park called last week. And lo and behold, Al from Sherman Park called. So I was like, oh, this is wonderful. We'll have a group conversation and we'll come to a resolution. So we had Sherman. And then we had Al from Sherman Park. We joined the calls together. And here I am thinking, well, this will be a wonderful moment in radio history where we can all come together and settle our differences. And all I heard was the R word, like 7 times. You can't say that word, I think, right? It's not good to say. It's bad. It's a bad word. Can't say that word. Okay. All right. Then you got Millicent. Oh, might as well. Come on, let's complete the round robin. Hi, Millicent. How are you?
How are you, Sherwin? This is a good show today. Listen, Linda, I usually kind of agree with her, but today I don't. They don't take the money with them because if they take the money with them, then the parents that send their kids to school that aren't doing what they need to refund us our money. So that's not going to happen. But Al from Sherman Park, I just left my client. There's a company downtown. It's called Vivint. They work with HIV-infected people, and they do a lot in the gay and AIDS community. They help them with rent resources. And guess what's going to happen to them soon because they've lost their federal money?
Oh, that's not good.
They're going to be closing. Yeah, I know. So when people call and don't understand what is going to happen. And then everybody's getting excited about a $5,000 check he said he might send you. And people are so excited. Yesterday, Tory Lowe said, if you don't like my show and don't like what I believe in, kick rocks. Well, I just need Tory to understand and everybody else to understand. Tory don't help black people. Tory helps niggas. That's who he's helping, our niggas, because black people will call the police. We can get our shit taken care of. It's him that can't. And I'm sorry, I just cussed. Sorry about that. Y'all have a good day.
Okay. Well, let's play music for the rest of the day. How about that? Why don't... Hey, everybody, listen here now. You calm down, everybody. Seriously, let's take a relaxing little deep breath. Everybody, follow me here. You ready? We're going to breathe in for a count of 4. Out for a count of 8. In for a count of 4. Out for a count of 8. We okay? Now I'm going to take a break now. And when we come back, we're going to be relaxed. We're going to I'll play some relaxing music and we're going to do a reset. Because y'all are trying to get me canceled for real. Okay. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 on your FM dial. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 101.7 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 101.7 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl, Noni Juice, from my friends at Steinhafels. Steinhafels President's Day mattress sale is the best time to save big on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets, plus get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Queen Tempur-Pedic mattresses start at just $50 per month. Isn't
Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic? The President's Day mattress sale, only at Steinhafels and steinhafels.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
See, this is some nice feel-good music. Everybody can calm down. Then I wake up in the morning. I did catch a little bit of Tory Lowe's show yesterday, the replay. Last night was my trivia night. You guys know I play trivia. And so I was driving to trivia and I heard a little bit of Tory's show. And I'm not over here talking about my colleagues, but I don't know if there was a call or whatever, but he sounded like he was a little defensive. And here's what I say. Take my advice with a grain of salt. That's number one. Number two, if you have your opinion about anything, about politics, about race, stand on it. Tell us why you feel the way you feel and stand on it. And other people are going to try and attack you. They will. That's just the nature of human beings. We argue, we debate, we have disagreements. But if you are confident in your positions because you've gained your positions and your understanding through your unique experiences, y'all just stand on it. Because I stand on mine and I get attacked for it. But at the end of the day, I trust myself and the experiences that I have and my viewpoints and my outlook. And I can explain to y'all why I feel the way that I feel. I got no problem doing that. But I'm going to stand on my beliefs. Right? You're going to get attacked no matter what. Now, I know some of y'all have been coming after my guy Tory for his beliefs. Have you ever asked him why? Maybe just ask him why. I think he tried to explain a little bit why he feels the way he feels. But yesterday he sounded, I only listened for like 10 minutes because my commute to where I play trivia was short. I wanted to stay in the car and continue to listen, actually. But he just got a little defensive. Instead of, you guys getting all mad at Tory, like, hey, Tory, can you explain to us, why you have arrived at your particular political sentiments? And maybe that clears it up for people that are questioning his sentiments, and then maybe that makes him feel a little bit better about standing on his convictions and why he feels the way he does politically. All right, let me get back to this story. So I started the show talking about, okay, how do we figure out a plan to prevent Donald Trump from running for a third term? And then apparently there was an event yesterday at the White House. The only event that I was aware of that took place at the White House yesterday was the Black History commemoration. And so Donald Trump will do these things where he'll like joke about some stuff, but he's actually being serious. And apparently at whatever event this was yesterday at the White House, he joked about when he runs for a third term. And the people that were in attendance at this event yesterday started chanting 4 more years, 4 more years. And I would shudder to think that it was the commemoration of Black History Month, because I know that it was scheduled for yesterday. The commemoration of Black History Month, which is very ironic when you think about it, because this administration has made it really clear that they don't want to have anything to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they want to remove all holidays and observances and remembrances that lend itself to race, culture, ethnicity. So I just find it very ironic that they would have a Black History celebration at the White House. But then if I think about it, imagine who the invited guests would be. It wouldn't be Black folks like me. They wouldn't invite Kerry. They wouldn't invite Kyle Wallace. If they're going to commemorate Black history, I'm talking about the White House, I'm talking about the Trump administration, they will commemorate Black history for Black Trump supporters, because everybody else to Donald Trump probably doesn't count. And at the end of the day, Black Trump supporters probably don't count either. But if they're going to commemorate Black history and get some kind of credit for, being mindful of African American contribution, if you only invite Black Trump supporters, then I think that flies in the face of the depth and complexity of what Black culture actually is. Trump's escalating rhetoric stoked further alarm among critics who say he is governing with an authoritarian playbook and fear he could attempt to seize power undemocratically as he attempted to do after losing the 2020 election. The Constitution's 22nd Amendment limits presidents from holding the office more than twice. Trump's suggestion before attendees of a Black History Month reception came after he mentioned, quote, the next time, in a seeming reference to running for president a third time. He then cut off his own sentence to ask the audience if he should run for a third term, met by shouts of affirmation of the African Americans that were in attendance. Trump basked in the attention, laughing and waving his hand at the audience. There's your controversy right there, Trump responded, chuckling. You're going to see that tonight. Tim on television, referring to Senator Tim Scott, the Republican from South Carolina, who was in the audience at the Black History reception. So it was black people that were egging Trump on and encouraging him to run for a third term. Not black people, black Trump supporters. No, Sherwin, don't do that. Don't separate black Trump supporters out from the rest of us black people because, you know, they're a part of us too. Hours later, former Trump advisor Stephen K. Bannon led an audience to chant, "We want Trump, we want Trump," referring to the 2028 election while speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference in Baltimore. "We want Trump in 28, Bannon said. That's what they can't stand. A man like Trump comes along only once or twice in the country's history, right? We want Trump, we want Trump." The White House did not immediately respond for requests for comment by the Washington Post Thursday evening. The limits of Trump's power and whether he will heed them have become a central theme in the first weeks of his presidency. Since taking office, Trump has moved rapidly to stretch the limits of presidential authority. The U.S. DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency Service, has triggered alarm among federal agencies for sweeping actions against them that in many cases appear to violate federal law, the Constitution, and his administration has come close to openly defying federal judges. And then you have this one here. Barron Trump is the future of conservative movements, say college Republicans. On Monday, Barron Trump accomplished a unique feat without even uttering a single word in public or having any social media accounts. President Donald Trump's 18-year-old son was anointed the future of the conservative movement by the president of the College Republicans of America, but not before one head had rolled. The president of the New York University chapter of the College Republicans of America was forced to resign over comments she made about the president's son, who was a freshman at the university. Kaya Walker stepped down on Monday after describing the 18-year-old Trump's life on campus in an interview in the Vanity Fair magazine thusly, quote, "He's sort of an oddity on campus. He goes to class, he goes home." On Tuesday afternoon, students at New York University's Stern School of Business, where Trump is a freshman, milled in the plaza outside of the barricaded front entrance at the heart of Greenwich Village. Some had heard of internet commotion from the previous day. So what did she get ousted for? By saying he was an oddity? He is an oddity. Have you ever seen him before? He's 7 feet tall. And he has this look on his face that he looks in. If I see him coming down a dark alley, I don't know what your boy gonna do. If I see Barron Trump running after me, I don't know what would happen. A few students USA Today spoke to at the university on Tuesday said they didn't understand what the fuss was about. None of them wanted to be named. Most had never laid eyes on the 6'7" Barron Trump, who joined the university last fall. The ones who did said he was always surrounded by Secret Service. Walker's description did not sit well with the national leadership of the college Republicans, who deemed it inappropriate. All she said was, let me reread this. What am I missing? So the head of the college Republicans at New York University was ousted. Kayla Walker, forced to resign over comments she made about Barron Trump, and she said that he is an oddity on campus. He goes to class, he goes home, because she's Kaya Walker. Kaya stepped down on Monday after describing 18-year-old Barron Trump's life on campus in an interview in Vanity Fair magazine. And all she said was he is like an oddity on campus. He goes to class, he goes home. And she got ousted as a college Republican from New York University. All right, whatever, that's fine. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Thank you, Truth Nation. Because of your unwavering and incredible support, we are proud to announce that we are officially sold out for our first annual Truth Community Awards. We are so excited to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community with you on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 101.7 The Truth team. Congratulations to the 10 award recipients we will honor that night. They are Dr. Tamika Johnson, Eric Shake James, Ebony Solly, Carvel Brooks, Chris Abele, Walter Stern, Latrice Harris, Melody Madden, Justin McCoy, and Minister Kevin Simmons. Thank you for all of your positive contributions to the city of Milwaukee and beyond. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. Visit paysbig.com. Sponsored by Community Advocates, where meeting basic needs inspires hope. And brought to you by the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk. This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
What was the life change? You know, we all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, you know, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, you know, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. You know, that's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and, you know.
Yeah, but that was a choice, right?
It was a choice. Yeah. But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute, even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died, and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Wow. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors.
Wow.
And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Terrence texted in and asked me about, I heard about this thing called the SAVE Act. I don't know why I'm laughing. Nothing is funny. Everything needs to be taken seriously. But like they're testing the bounds of the absurd. And I never thought the federal government could ever stoop to such a really low level. My colleague Kristen Bry, she wrote an editorial in the Journal Sentinel earlier this week regarding the SAVE Act, and I just kind of dismissed it. Maybe I shouldn't have. And so Terrence texted in a screenshot that says, "Hey, married women that took your husband's last name. This just passed the House and is expected to pass the Senate. Republicans just took away your right to vote. Are you awake yet?" And the description says the SAVE Act has passed the House and is heading to the Senate. If you're one of the 83% of married women in this country that has taken your husband's last name, this will take away your right to vote. In this law, if your driver's license, passport, etc., does not match your birth certificate, you are not eligible to vote. This is part of Project 2025 that we were screaming about. Contact your senators. This must not pass. So in a preliminary gander at some information regarding the SAVE Act, no, the SAVE Act is not designed to disenfranchise women. Congressional Republicans recently reintroduced the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, or SAVE Act, for the 119th Congress, brought forward by Representative Chip Roy, a Republican from Texas, in the House, and Senator Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah, in the Senate. The SAVE Act establishes new citizenship verification requirements for Americans registering to vote. Although data shows that non-citizen voting is quite rare, more robust citizenship verification is a wildly popular reform that may help increase trust in elections if implemented well. With Republicans preparing to move the bill out of the House in the near future, opponents allege that the bill will disenfranchise millions of married women and others whose names on their birth certificates no longer match their current legal names. While the bill does need refining to address implementation concerns and would benefit from placing more administrative burdens on state agencies rather than voters, this particular attack is a red herring. As introduced, the SAVE Act requires Americans to prove citizenship through a variety of possible documents, such as state IDs that show citizenship or a passport. Birth certificates may be the most accessible options for many Americans. However, many American voters have changed their names since birth, whether by marriage or by personal choice, leading to a mismatch between their birth certificate and the current photo ID required alongside it. The bill does not provide a specific process for those whose current legal name does not match their birth certificate, though it does contemplate such a scenario and mandates the creation of a process to prevent affected citizens from disenfranchisement. So as the bill stands right now, yeah, they could challenge your right to vote, married ladies that took your husband's name. I was always skeptical of women that didn't take their husband's name when they got married. Are you trying to pretend like you're not married, ladies? Now I understand why. In Section 2F of the bill, under process in the case of certain discrepancies in documentation, the SAVE Act tasks the Election Assistance Commission with creating guidance and states with creating a process under which an applicant can provide such additional documentation in the event of a discrepancy with respect to the applicant's documentary proof of U.S. citizenship. So in trying to prevent an almost non-existent group of non-citizens from voting, they are making married women carry the burden. Married women and local election officials now carry the burden of establishing somebody's citizenship. Let me tell you why this is a bad idea. On a Wednesday show, or was it Tuesday show? It was Tuesday show. We had an election on Tuesday. Don't worry if you didn't know that, because most of y'all didn't vote in it anyway. There was a man who presented his state ID. He's a veteran. He called in or texted in earlier this week on Tuesday on Election Day and said that the poll worker gave him a hard time when he showed his state ID in order to be able to cast his ballot in Tuesday's primary election, because his state ID has maple leaves on it. And I'm over here thinking that the brother's Canadian. Well, apparently the new state IDs in Wisconsin and the new driver's licenses have maple leaves on them. And the the lady, what do you call the lady? The poll worker didn't recognize the state ID. And imagine if the SAVE Act as written goes into effect, someone whose name does not match their voter registration records, because you might be a registered voter, get married, change your name, show up with your ID or have a different name, your maiden name in the poll book, and they may not allow you to vote. I have a feeling that while that might be an unintended consequence, there might be some intention to preventing women from voting. For example, of how this might play out in practice, look no further than the state of Arizona, the only state that requires a citizenship check for participation in state and local elections. Under Arizona law, a voting applicant may provide citizenship by providing, quote, a legible photocopy of the applicant's birth certificate that verifies citizenship to the satisfaction of the county recorder. Applicants with a name mismatch must provide supplementary documentation, such as your marriage certificate, to resolve the discrepancy. Imagine having to bring your marriage certificate to go and vote, ladies. Ladies here, bottom line, don't get married. Just don't get married, ladies. Save yourself the trouble. Y'all hate us men anyway, so don't get married and then you won't have any problems voting. Applicants with name mismatches must provide supplementary documentation such as a marriage certificate to resolve the discrepancy at the polling location. Though specific requirements contained in the SAVE Act and Arizona law differ, including the acceptability of a photocopy, both envision a process in which applicants provide supplementary documentation to support a mismatched birth certificate, and both grant election administrators discretion to figure out the specifics. So, ladies, if you have a name mismatch from your ID and your voter registration, it is now up to one of those old biddies working at the polling location to determine your eligibility to vote, even if you are a born American citizen. Like many pieces of legislation introduced in the run-up to an election, the SAVE Act may have been more of a messaging tool than a robust election reform. As a result, the bill contains some meaningful implementation hurdles that would have to be addressed before enactment. And then we got a PolitiFact here. So under the SAVE Act, it says via PolitiFact, if you are a woman that has changed your name from your birth certificate, let's say through marriage, you are no longer eligible to vote. So PolitiFact rates that as mostly false. Not completely false. Not pants on fire, because that's the highest form of lie on the PolitiFact meter. Mostly false. SAVE Act would make it harder, not impossible, for married people to register to vote. People whose names don't match on identified documents may have a hard time registering and voting if the SAVE Act becomes law. The bill requires states to establish processes to address discrepancies in documents. So this would be a problem, because in the state of Wisconsin, where we've got a Republican-controlled state assembly and state senate, I don't think that they would make it easy for women to vote here in the state of Wisconsin. I mean, think about where some of the Republicans stand on women's reproductive health care, and even on things like the Planned Parenthood. If a married person who takes a spouse's last name would have to provide more documentation than other individuals to prove citizenship. So I'm seeing this automatically as a violation of the 14th Amendment equal protections. Congressional Republicans are pushing to pass a bill that would require documentary proof of citizenship to register to vote. The move worries voting rights advocates, saying it would hinder registration among eligible citizens, particularly married women. The Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, or SAVE Act, would set federal standards for voter registration. The bill lists documents people could use to prove their citizenship when registering to vote, such as a birth certificate or a passport. The bill's text makes no mention of a marriage certificate or an official name change document. According to the Brennan Center for Justice, a left-leaning voting rights advocacy group, more than 21 million voting-age American citizens, or 9% of eligible voters, don't have ready access to documents that can prove their citizenship. That would decide an election. 9% of eligible voters, 21 million people, do not have access to documents that can prove that they're a citizen. Thank you, Terrence, for bringing this up. This is one of those things that I probably would have ignored, because the Trump administration and these Republicans are throwing so many damn things at us. It's hard to pay attention to all of them. Something like this getting through without the American people paying attention will have an impact on the midterm elections in 2026. Absolutely it will. Take a break, come back, and I'll read some more of your text messages on the other side. Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers look to make it 3 wins in a row as they travel to Ohio to take on conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins.
Lob it back in for J. Mike, bounce it inside for Franklin, and Aaron Franklin gives the Panthers the lead, 67-66.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 7:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield.
A theft, and KP will rise. He throws it down.
Tip-off happens at 8 p.m.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Jay Harris says, how does that not make sense? If the name isn't yours, prove who you are. The way Democrats talk is like adult humans are infants and incapable of getting things done, like having a legit ID. Okay. Until a woman in your family can't vote there, bucko. I don't know how that gets rectified, quite honestly. I just don't want a law to exist on the books to try and prevent a problem that's not even a problem. The Republicans are inventing problems. You know, they're doing something else now. It's very, very complicated. And once I get more information about it, I'll be able to explain it a little more clearly and a little more articulately. So right now, you've got to commit a bunch of serious crimes in order for federal agencies to do this thing called, it's a seizure. There's a different word for it, but I'm going to use the term seizure. There's another specified legal term for it, where they can look at all of your information, all of your documents, your IRS files, your taxes, et cetera, et cetera. In order for the government to do that, they have to open up an investigation on you, but they need probable cause. The Trump administration is now inventing crimes. They're making up crimes so they can do these seizures on people. Can you guys believe this? We live in a society where the president's administration has been given latitude and authority to make up crimes, because once you have established the crime that somebody broke a law and you're going to investigate them, that gives this government and the FBI and the Department of Justice carte blanche to all of your secret and private documents. But here's the thing. You may not have committed a crime at all. There's a judge that says Democrats that are describing Donald Trump and his cabinet members with profane language are going to be subject to investigation. So when you guys talk about freedom of speech, and it's very disappointing because most people get freedom of speech wrong. Freedom of speech to some of you thinks you can call the radio and say whatever the hell you want. Freedom of speech to some of you is you can say whatever you want on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. No, that's not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is you can disagree with and debate with your government. You can talk about your government. You can talk about elected leaders, and elected leaders can't file charges on you. That's freedom of speech. That we get to be critical of our government and not have our government take action on us for being critical. That is now under threat because there is a judge that is warning Democrats if you use language that could be, quote unquote, considered threatening, and it's basically just insults. They're insulting Donald Trump, and a judge is saying, no, that's threatening language, and we may file charges against you. This is the most insane stuff I've ever seen. What will we do when this administration begins to manufacture crimes in order to investigate people that they believe are a threat to the Trump administration? What will we do? We won't be able to do anything. Not a damn thing. All right, what y'all talking about in the YouTube chat? My, oh my. That one guy's asking for fish fries on anybody's agenda. Moriam says, would love to follow your lead, but I can only use half of my mouth until further notice. What are you all talking about? What's wrong with the other half of your mouth? You know what? Don't answer that. It's a bunch of weird stuff going on today, and I don't want to know what's wrong with half of your mouth. I don't. Moriam says, I have to admit the president is good at finding loopholes. That one guy, well, let's see if they get started on the Mexican deportations. Oh, Moriam had dental work. Okay. I just looked up at the YouTube chat and somebody said, I can only use half of my mouth. I had a wild night last night. Sounds like you might have been hanging out with Al. That's something Al would call and say, I can only use half of my mouth last night because I had some yam, bam, bams, and tams. Where's Al at, by the way? What is this one here? I got so much stuff here. Here we go. Trump expected to take control of the United States Postal Service, fire the Postal Board, officials say. The move threatens to upend trillions of dollars in e-commerce business and the 250-year-old United States Postal Service. President Donald Trump is preparing to dissolve the leadership of the U.S. Postal Service and absorb the independent mail agency into his administration, potentially throwing a 250-year-old mail provider and trillions of dollars of e-commerce transactions into complete turmoil. Trump is expected to issue an executive order as soon as today to fire the members of the Postal Service's governing board and place the agency under the control of the Commerce Department and Secretary Howard Lutnick, according to 6 people familiar with the plans who spoke on the condition of anonymity out of fear they will be retaliated against. The board is planning to fight Trump's order. 3 of those people told the Washington Post. In an emergency meeting yesterday, the board retained outside legal counsel and gave instructions to sue the White House if the president were to remove members of the post office board or attempt to alter the agency's independent status. You guys know that the post office is not funded by the taxpayers. You know how the post office gets funded? Stamps. When you buy a stamp or when you send something priority U.S. Postal Service mail. How much is a stamp nowadays? What does a stamp cost? $57, $35? How much is a... I need to look that up. When you think about it, you can send a 1-ounce letter from the tip of the Aleutian Islands to the Florida Keys for less than $1. Like, that's a pretty good deal. Let's see how much a postage stamp. How much is a postage stamp? All right, how much is a stamp? 73 cents? It's not bad. As of July 14, 2024, a standard-sized rectangular envelope stamp in the United States costs 73 cents. This is the price of a first-class mail forever stamp. So forever stamps are the ones where you buy it and it doesn't matter if the price goes up because your forever stamp is good, well, forever. Square, oversized, or unusual envelopes start at $1.19. Standard-sized rectangular envelope, postcards, 56 cents. Oversized postcards, 73 cents. Large envelopes that are flat starting at $1.50. That's very cheap. Why is Trump trying to mess up the damn post office? Two of the group's GOP members, Derek Kahn, a former Trump administration official, and Mike Duncan, a former chair of the Republican National Committee, were not in attendance of the Postal Board meeting. All right. Trump's order to place the post office in the Commerce Department would probably violate federal law, according to postal experts. Another executive order earlier this week instructed independent agencies to align more closely with the White House, though that order is likely to prompt court challenges, and the Postal Service by law is generally exempt from presidential executive orders. Members of the Postal Service's bipartisan board are appointed by the president and confirmed by the U.S. Senate. Trump, at Lutnick's urging, has mused about privatizing the Postal Service, and Trump's presidential transition team vetted candidates to replace Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, a retired logistics executive and GOP fundraising official who took office in 2020 during Trump's first term. Joe Biden kept that dude. He kept Donald Trump's appointee to the post office position, Postmaster General. There's a lot of talk about the Postal Service being taken private, Trump said in December. It's a lot different today between Amazon and UPS and FedEx and all the things that you didn't have, but there is talk about that. It's an idea that a lot of people have liked for a long time. So what will happen is, I think they probably will dissolve the post office, and now if you want your letters sent, you're going to have to use DHL, UPS, or other delivery services, and it'll probably be very, very expensive. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Don't go anywhere. I will be back for Hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Thank you, Truth Nation. Because of your unwavering and incredible support, we are proud to announce that we are officially sold out for our first annual Truth Community Awards. We are so excited to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community with you on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Congratulations to the 10 award recipients we will honor that night. They are Dr. Tamika Johnson, Eric Shake James, Ebony Solly, Carvel Brooks, Chris Abley, Walter Stern, Latrice Harris, Melody Madden, Justin McCoy, and Minister Kevin Simmons. Thank you for all of your positive contributions to the city of Milwaukee and beyond. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. Visit paysbig.com. Sponsored by Community Advocates, where meeting basic needs inspires hope. And brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I don't got no stain on my sweatshirt. Who said I got a stain on my sweatshirt? It might be water, because I drank some water. Sometimes I got a hole in my lip. I don't got no, you see a stain on it? This is new. Better not be no stain on there. What? There ain't no stain on it. It is? Where? Where is it? Where?
For it.
Got him.
For it. You're dumb.
Got him.
Dumb.
Oh, okay. Oh, y'all think it's sweet. Okay.
Dumb.
Oh, you gonna play my sound effect on me. You know what? I don't even know why I come here. I don't even know. Keep playing with me. Why y'all think it's sweet? I just want to make sure there wasn't no stain on my shirt. Whose side are y'all on? What is, Ricky, I know you ain't got nothing to say. Ricky, don't you got something to do? Don't you got to be?
I am doing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing the best of show, and I'm producing your show. You mad?
What does your hat say?
You mad?
What is your Ricky? What is your hat? What's that say on your hat?
Don't change the subject.
No, I'm not changing the subject.
You got a stain on your shirt. Got a stain on your shirt, Sherweena.
Sean, are we looking for producers? Are we? I'm just curious if hiring. Yeah, exactly. Got quiet in there, didn't it?
No, I turned off that mic.
No, I wouldn't do that now.
Yeah.
You know what happened to the last person that did that?
Sherweena.
A measles outbreak in West Texas is continuing to spread, and with kindergarten vaccination rates dipping across the country, more communities may be at risk for the measles. But it's not just kids who could be and should be vaccinated. Infectious disease experts say some adults might need to get revaccinated too. Measles can spread incredibly fast as one of the world's most contagious diseases, more contagious than the flu, COVID, polio, or just about any other infectious disease. Dr. Paul Offit, director of the Vaccine Education Center at the Children's Hospitals in Philadelphia, notes that just last week, West Texas was reporting 14 cases. This week, 58 cases. It's very hard to control measles once the outbreak gets going, he says, The best defense against measles is vaccination. The vast majority of people getting sick in Texas are unvaxxed. And measles vaccines are both safe and highly effective, says Dr. William Schaffner, a professor of infectious diseases at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. I don't even remember the last time I got my measles vaccine. I guess we got to do that, get measles vaccines. Air traffic controllers can no longer do their work. The first wave of White House-ordered firings at the Federal Aviation Administration included employees who play important roles in air travel and safety, despite the Trump administration's assurances that, quote, no critical staff have been axed. More than 130 of the eliminated workers held jobs that directly or indirectly support air traffic controllers, facilities, and airplane technologies that the FAA uses to keep planes and their passengers safe. I'm not flying nowhere. Y'all got me messed up over here, and I wanted to go to the Dominican Republic. I heard it's crazy in the DR. I heard it's wild. You know where I want to go? I want to go to the DR. Punta Cana. That's in the DR. I want to go to, it's a town, it's in Mexico. It's outside of Cancun. It's called Tulum. I heard it goes down in Tulum. But I can't get on a damn airplane. Because airplanes is falling out the sky because Donald Trump is firing all the people to make the airplanes stay in the damn sky. That alone creates reason for concern about the impact of the cuts to the FAA. People familiar with the termination said even if the initial firing spared the air traffic controllers themselves. Worries about U.S. air safety have escalated since 67 people died in a crash January 29th between a passenger jet and an Army helicopter in the skies near the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. I would argue that every job at the FAA right now is safety critical, said Jeff Gazzetti, an aviation safety consultant who was a longtime official at both the FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board. Air traffic controllers cannot do their work without us, the former employee said in an interview on Wednesday. The employee, granted anonymity to discuss their recent firing candidly, said they believe the administration didn't understand how essential certain jobs are for safety, but that instead workers were, quote, targeted just as senseless line items on an Excel spreadsheet. To put it frankly, without our team, pilots would quite literally be flying blind, the former employee said. Well, hell, we don't need that. Let's talk to someone who also would never fly blind. Hello, Al. How are you today?
Hey, what it do? First thing I want to say is thank you, Miller, because you had me just laughing in my kitchen. But you bring up this FAA. Have you noticed with all these plane crashes, you never hear about a Republican being on any of those flights? Have you noticed with the measles outbreaks, you don't ever hear about any Republicans with the measles? So I'm kind of starting to like get a wander of raising my eye, because with all these airplanes falling out the sky, it's never a Republican on any of them. We got one guy who's against vaccines, but he ain't against heroin. But he probably was running butt naked outside, probably going through an episode, because you know how some of them junkies do. But you know what I thought? What I thought was kind of crazy about it. This guy, didn't Trump also tell people use bleach but took the vaccine himself? And I don't understand why the Republicans, especially you white Republicans, y'all choosing to be stupid, just to be stupid because he white. Because when you look at everything that's going on, all his assassination attempts was by somebody that's white. All the people that's going to suffer the most is by white. When you look at homosexuality and drag queens, it's the whites that's been doing it the most, but white people aren't talking about it. And then his biggest enemy, and if he's brought down by anybody, it's going to be by white people, because white people already have a dark history. And one thing white people know how to do is bring each other down. So I don't understand why when it comes to white people, why everybody being so dumb due to their skin color. And then you brought up his third term. Number one, he's too old. He's out of shape. He's unhealthy. He eats McDonald's, and if he has early stages of dementia, that's going to be like taking the brakes off a semi-truck. You can't stop that, and you can look at him until he's already unhealthy, and every time they have him sit down, they always have like a towel or some type of bed pad because, he has incontinence problems, which means his body is already
Wait a minute.
breaking
Hold on.
down.
How do you know that he got incontinence problems? Where you hear that at?
They said it was somebody who worked on the show of his. You remember he had that show, You're Fired? They said he was wearing a diaper since 1995. And one of the things when you have dementia, you can't hold your incontinence. You can't hold your urine. You can't hold your poop because to get to the point, that's the start. In the beginning of dementia, that's when the body starts pretty much prepping itself for death. So if he even tried to make it to a third term, he would be nothing but a human vegetable because the body is prepping itself for death. Any doctor who's listening can call in and tell you that because there's nothing that can protect that. There's no drug that can slow it down because the body is slowly going into a death stage and the brain is starting to become a vegetable. So anybody can challenge that. But I just thought it was weird. Every time something happened with these planes, there's never a Republican on it. You don't ever hear about a Republican being on these airplanes.
So you trying to say it's a conspiracy where only Democrats are on these planes that's crashing? You think they're trying to kill certain people with these flights that are?
I'm just saying something is not right because if all these planes is falling out, why there's never a Republican on it? Usually when it's an outbreak, you don't ever hear about a Republican catching it. I'm just saying just pay attention and think outside the box because all we got to use is basic common sense. You don't see none of them getting on no airplanes. You see them getting on airplanes? You got one guy talking about he's against vaccines, but you can tell he's against something with the way that skin looked. He barely got a voice. His voice sounds like an 84 Eldorado Barris with a bad head gas. I mean, them drugs and tow his behind up. And you know when it comes to junkies, and then go one more thing, when they had Kodak Black on this thing for Black History, all the people they had is drug addiction. They all come from drugs. You got Kodak Black, he was in the street doped out. If it was me, I would have never got him up because I feel like if the drug is more important, let the drug kill you.
Did Kodak Black overdose? He's overdosed before?
No, when they found him in the street zoned out, so he probably has too many chemicals up in there. I wouldn't have got him up. I would have let him rot. That's how I feel when it comes to drugs. If drugs is good enough for you, drugs can kill you. Okay, because here's the thing with drugs. They always cry after the drug is gone. They never cry at the beginning or during. It's always after the drug is gone. You got Boosie who like he's been down by Boosie. He been beat down by crack, Xanax, opioids, everything. You see them dark circle around his eyes. And of course, if any of those people come around your house, you're going to hide your purse, you're going to hide your keys, and all your personal information that comes to you because they know how to talk. You'd be surprised with junkies. They will talk like they have a doctorate degree until that drug comes. So I just wanted to share that information. And that $5,000 ain't no money because y'all are already making that now. $5,000 can't do nothing. $5,000 to be gone in a matter of a day. And if a person doesn't know how to spend their money, it's going to be gone. And look at a person who's on drugs. I know people who was on drugs and they went through $75,000 in a year and bragged about it. And they still look like Richard Pryor and Jeepers Creepers and Freddy Krueger mixed together. But hey, them the ones they trying to get to run the country. So I just wanted to drop that information on you. Just think outside the box. And when these situations happen, ask, well, why ain't none of these situations affecting these Republicans? You know why? Because they send somewhere and they probably told them, don't get on that airplane and don't go to that state. Stuff like that doesn't happen. And you know they had that outbreak with them farmers in Minnesota, too. So I just wanted to put that out there. But just think outside the box and you'll have your answer. Have a good day.
Oh, thank you, Al. You have a good day as well. And have a great weekend as well. $5,000 Doge check? Donald Trump backs idea to send some savings to Americans. I'm going to take a break, come back. Let's talk about you getting your $5,000 worth of Doge. Some of y'all might quit your job. Get $5,000 worth of the Doge. I don't want $5,000 worth of the Doge. Give me $5,000 in cash. That's what I want. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. Me, your girl Noni Juice, will be joined by Sarah Noble, principal partner of B Noble Group, and in this episode, we have Dr. Sandra Jones, the executive director at Victory Garden Initiative. We will discuss Black love, which is the foundation of our histories. Again, that is More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin, this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me. I am ASAP and Maya Angelou. I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass.
From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep Scholars recite, not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning, because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Wondering if you should expect a $5,000 check from Doge? And is it a stimulus, a dividend, or a refund? Here's what we know so far about what it is and who would potentially get it. Donald Trump said he is considering a plan to pay out $5,000 stimulus checks to taxpayers in the form of a Doge dividend. During a speech on Wednesday, he explained it as part to take 20% of the savings identified by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge, and give it back to the American people. This Doge dividend idea was previously floated on Tuesday by Azoria investment firm CEO James Fishback on Musk's social media platform called X, suggesting Donald Trump and Musk should announce a Doge dividend, a tax refund check sent to every taxpayer funded exclusively with a portion of the total savings delivered by Doge, to which Elon Musk replied, "We'll check with the president." Are they lying to us? Don't play with me about my money. You can joke around about all sorts of other stuff. You can joke around about Sherwin walking funny. You can joke around about Sherwin having a stain on his shirt, which I do not have, by the way. Don't play with my money. Now, here's the thing. This would cause a dilemma, because the ultimate form of protest would be for those of us that do not like the direction of our nation, that do not like the utter lawlessness of this current administration. We should not cash a Doge check. That is how we should protest, ladies and gentlemen. We should not accept that money, because that money comes off of the backs of federal workers that we need to provide the services that can keep us safe. What good does it do if you're laying out people at the Food and Drug Administration and poison is getting into the food and the medicines? What good does it do if planes are falling out of the sky because they're firing people at the FAA and the air traffic controllers can't do their job of, controlling air traffic? Why are you giving me $5,000 and you laying off all these people? You know what? I might send my Doge check to somebody. Okay, hold on, wait now. You wouldn't judge me unfairly if I spent. Should we not spend the Doge check? Should we say, no, we don't want this, we reject it? Don't give me $5,000. Don't give me an amount of money where I could go on a real nice vacation. Real nice. Don't give me a free cruise. That would be horrible. A cruise where it's all inclusive and you can eat and stuff and drink all the time. That would be awful. Don't pay for me to stay a week in Jamaica at Ocho Rios. That would be awful. I would not feel right accepting a check from the Trump administration in the form of the Doge to go to Cancun, Mexico, or to go to Tulum, Mexico. I wouldn't like that. To visit the beautiful shores of the Gulf of America. I would hate having to get a dollar amount from the Trump administration, because, they fired a lot of people, and some of those people need to keep their jobs, and then you give me the ability to go work from a beautiful Airbnb in Florida for 2 weeks? I would not. That would be horrible. If I got $5,000 from the Trump administration and sent to my bank account or whatever, that would be bad, right? We shouldn't accept that, because we need the money to be in the federal government. I sure would hate to get some new tires from a vehicle, I guess. I'll put a little money away in the stock market. No, that would be awful. We do not want to accept that. Should we stand firm against Donald Trump and Elon Musk cutting all of these very important, very crucial positions in the federal government, and then with the money, essentially, of salaries of furloughed and laid off and fired workers, they're going to give us the $5,000? That would be horrible if I could buy brand new DJ equipment, because I'm the best DJ in the city. That would be, What? Zach, you wouldn't accept the money. If Donald Trump sent you $5,000, you would stand in protest, and you would send the money back to the government, right?
100%. All money is not good money.
It isn't.
It's blood money.
It is. Okay. So that's all right. That's all right. Then I won't. Brother could use some replacement windows. I hear Dr. Ken, he be advertising for Pella.
They hit a Pella.
You know what I mean? But no, I can't. If I can't use the $5,000 Donald Trump blood money, then I can't. I could replace the windows probably on one whole side of the crib. They drafty. My windows is kind of drafty. I just got my We Energies bill. It was $309. I don't like that. It looks ghetto. I used to put plastic, and then I put the blinds over and then my curtains. But it's too ghetto. I don't like that. I don't like the plastic on the windows. And it's hard to put up. You ever try putting plastic on windows by yourself? Not cool. I don't like doing that. It helps, though, but it's This Doge dividend idea was previously floated on Tuesday by Azoria investment firm CEO James Fishback on Musk's social media platform X, suggesting President Trump and Musk should announce a Doge dividend. The numbers are incredible. So many millions, billions, hundreds of billions, Trump said in his speech about Doge. And we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% to pay back our debt. The U.S. national debt totaled $35.5 trillion in 2024 fiscal year and $1.4 trillion increase from 2023, according to the Treasury Department. Trump didn't share any further specifics or details about the possible Doge dividend, albeit Fishback's 4-page proposal of the Doge dividend described it as a refund sent only to tax-paying householders, noting that the difference from past stimulus checks, he added that Doge checks would not be inflationary as they would be exclusively funded with Doge-driven savings, unlike COVID stimmies checks, which were deficit financed. Boy, y'all put me in a situation. Millicent said, don't worry, you're not getting one. I know that when Republicans are good for giving, well, Democrats do it as well, but Joe Biden had to do it because you can't tell people that you can't go to work, you got to stay home, businesses got to close, factories got to close, and then not give the American people some money. But I know Republicans have a track record of giving money away. Tommy Thompson used to do it when he was governor. He gave us a stimulus check. He gave us a tax refund. At least one, if not two of them, when Tommy Thompson was governor. George H.W. Bush gave the budget surplus that we had amassed under the Bill Clinton, Al Gore presidency and wrote those checks to the American people. I remember getting that check back in, when was that, 2001? $600 in 2001 was a lot of money back then. I mean, $600 right now could move the needle a little bit. That's a nice little, what could I get with a little $600? Pay more than half of my mortgage. What else could I do with a little $600? I go out, go to a nice dinner a few times, go to the grocery store, do a little shopping on Amazon. I can do a nice little few things with a little $600. But Zach said it's blood money, and if Donald Trump sends us the Doge check, we shouldn't accept it. Ricky, I know you're going to accept yours. I know you would. You're going to finish getting the rest of your teeth in gold. You're going to come back with a whole gold mouth. Why stop at just a few teeth, Ricky? Why not just have a whole gold mouth? Just have all of your teeth gold.
Because that costs a little extra money. I thought about it, but I'm like, that would be, it's not about the money issue. It's more so of the, I want gold in my mouth, but I don't want too much gold in my mouth.
Don't want too much because that would be a waste. What if one day you decide, I want my teeth back? You can't.
Look, I know it was a dumb decision.
Rick.
Hold on.
I'm not saying it was dumb at all.
I'm saying it's dumb.
Oh.
What I'm saying is once I went through the process of getting the gold teeth and they got the shaving my teeth down, and I'm like, I miss my teeth. Why did I do this dumb sugar honey iced tea? So once it was done, it was already too late. And then when I seen the results, I was happy with the results. But for the most part, I'm not going to keep them in forever. Some people keep their gold teeth forever, but eventually I'm going to want some pearly whites again.
I didn't know that you had to get rid of parts of your natural teeth.
Anytime you get veneers, caps, gold teeth, whatever you get altered your teeth, they're going to have to shave it down to make your teeth fit.
Thank you for that. I didn't know that. All right, well, that's good to know. So you wouldn't get more gold teeth. What if somebody tried to rob you for your teeth? That'd be disappointing.
It wouldn't be worth it.
All right, fair enough. Where is this show going? That one guy says, $600 and I'd be hitting up the dispensaries down in Illinois. You know what? I've never been to a dispensary in Illinois. When I went to Vegas, I went to one. It's very expensive because there's so many taxes that they put on legal cannabis. I'm not admitting to whether I ever bought legal cannabis or not. Stop asking me questions. Y'all be real nosy sometimes. I'm not saying I bought it.
I have.
What? You can't admit that. That's not legal.
When I went to go get my teeth done,
of course,
in St. Louis, I went to a cannabis store called Cookies. It's a high end quality marijuana spot. that originated, I want to say, in California.
I've heard of cookies.
It got multiple brands now, multiple chains. And I went there, and it was very good. It was potent.
Rick, you smoke that stuff?
No, I don't like smoking weed. It's I don't like the aftertaste, the blunt guts, all the work you got to put in to roll it, light it, smoke. That's too much. I bought edibles and stuff like that.
Oh,
I don't like to smell like the smoke. I don't like my eyes red. I don't like the coughing, and that's just too much. I'll just get me straight to the point. So yeah.
Sure, but don't the edibles? They get you higher than smoking.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they get you way.
That was
higher.
the longest 5 hours back to Milwaukee drive ever.
5, Rick, you're not supposed to drive, dog.
And I just want to go on the record that this was before I got hired at Good Karma Brands.
All right. I'm not even sure where I go from here. So when you eat the edibles, do you still get the munchies?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
It had the same effects as if you were smoking a joint or a blunt or a bong.
Really? So here's what I heard. I just heard this. So there is a natural, a supplement called ginkgo biloba. And you can buy it at like nutrition stores. You probably can get it, I'm sure, off of Amazon. I've heard that if you don't want the side effect of getting the munchies when you partake in the devil's lettuce, the marijuana, the THC, if you take ginkgo biloba, it stifles the munchies so you don't get the munchies. That's what I've heard. I don't do any of that stuff. Every now and again I'll have a glass of wine. I might have a beer, or I might on occasion have myself some Tito's. But other than that, I don't be getting into the substances. I don't know nothing about edibles and THC percentages and contents. That stuff, I don't do all that stuff. I'm too old for that. That's for young people. I don't be doing that stuff. I don't do that. Okay, I need to take a commercial break. This show has just been, what did we even accomplish today? Well, we talked about Doge, I guess, and Ricky's teeth. Ricky said that was the longest 5-hour drive from St. Louis. We all go get pink slips. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Hey, guys, guess what? We're on YouTube. Go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or your mobile device. Search 101.7 The Truth, or you can search The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, and you get my videos. Be good. They're funny. It's very good for your soul. You learn a lot of things. You'll hear Al and Bob and Linda, Sherman and Al from Sherman Park. You'll hear Brian. You'll hear so many people. It's very funny and entertaining, and you'll like it. You can play it for your family at holiday gatherings. So search 101.7 The Truth or The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the YouTube, and you can be entertained. I had Denise here yesterday. Denise and I did a few segments about dating and relationships. Y'all know that Denise is in love with me, right? Can you blame her? All this chocolate beefcake. Hey! I'm extremely lovable. Chocolate beefcake. I think if I asked Denise to marry me, she 100% would. In fact, knowing Denise, she might ask me to marry her. Sherwin, I've been thinking about this for a long time. Will you marry me? She'd get on one knee and everything, like the nice gentleman that she is. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Thank you, Truth Nation. Because of your unwavering and incredible support, we are proud to announce that we are officially sold out for our first annual Truth Community Awards. We are so excited to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community with you on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 101.7 The Truth team. Congratulations to the 10 award recipients we will honor that night. They are Dr. Tamika Johnson, Eric Shake James, Ebony Solly, Carvel Brooks, Chris Abele, Walter Stern, Latrice Harris, Melody Madden, Justin McCoy, and Minister Kevin Simmons. Thank you for all of your positive contributions to the city of Milwaukee and beyond. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. Visit paysbig.com. Sponsored by Community Advocates, where meeting basic needs inspires hope. And brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Today's Making Your Money Work is presented by Associated Bank, and right now I am excited to be joined by Ashley Lucas. Ashley Lucas, how are you doing today?
I am doing amazing, and I am excited. We are so close to the holidays. How are you?
I'm doing really good, too. I'm excited to be speaking with you because, you know, the work that you and Associated Bank do is incredible. So I want to get right into it. So in what ways does Associated Bank support small businesses?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for the kudos. We really take it to heart here to ensure that we're helping the businesses in our community, those local business owners that are working hard, you know, to help the people that, you know, live and work in the Milwaukee area. So one of the biggest things we have here is we have not only certified branch managers and colleagues, but also a small business relationship manager team that's able to assist a business, whether they're just starting out, they need their first loan, they're looking to retire, they're wondering, you know, how to manage their day-to-day operations with their finances. And I think that's really important because, you know, having that go-to person that you can contact no matter, you know, what questions you have is really, really, really important to business owners.
So how can people get in touch with you? I know they're interested at this point.
We have something also really cool at Associated Bank. Anyone can go into any one of our local branches. We have business certified colleagues there that are able to help. Or if you're like me and you see the snow coming down today and you're like, nope, I want to stay in my jammies and at home, we have a virtual relationship manager hotline, and anyone can call whether they're a customer or not. They're open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and their number is 1-800-270-7725.
Thank you so much, Ashley Lucas. We always have such a good time.
Making your money work on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is sponsored by Associated Bank. Your money works here. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If you ask me, this song, this and Justify My Love, Madonna's finest work. Whatever album this is when Madonna was going through her freak stage. This is when she was
from the 90s.
Yeah, it was very 90s. I think this is when she was humping Dennis Rodman. And she came out with like a coffee table book of erotic photographs.
Not the Worm.
Who's the Worm?
Dennis Rodman.
Oh, that's right. That was his nickname. Where is Dennis Rodman, by the way?
Being a worm.
We haven't heard much
He
from
has
him.
him and Prince had some baddies. But don't to be who they were.
Yeah, Prince. When you think about it,
Prince had Vanity and Apollonia. Come on, man.
But Prince was half woman. You know, he used to wear little heels and panties. Yes, he was. Prince was. I mean, he was kind of transgender a little bit. He was androgynous a little bit.
That, yes. But trans, what?
That's pretty much the same thing.
It is not.
Yes, it is. Androgyny and trans, it's not that much of a difference. Let's see what we got here.
I like it.
So have we decided if we're going to spend the Doge money or not if we get it? Here's what'll happen. We'll get the Doge stimulus checks, and then we'll think about it. Right? It'll hit our accounts, and we'll give it some thought. We'll decide. Oh, you know what you could do? You could get the Doge money when we get our Doge stimmies and give it to like a black cause. Give it to a black scholarship fund, or pay for a black child to, I don't know, something. You could do something productive with the money. Right? That makes it a little more tolerable. Should you expect a stimulus check from the Trump administration's Doge? Is it a stimulus check, a refund check, or a dividend? Where would this money come from? President Donald Trump said he is considering a plan to pay out $5,000 stimulus checks to taxpayers in the form of a Doge dividend. I think that people would support him for a third term if you give him $5,000. Because I don't even know what the stimmies that we got didn't even add up to 5 Gs, did they? I don't even remember. Maybe they did. I'm not sure. But a $5,000 payout, some people can be bought for cheap. That much I know. This Doge dividend idea was previously floated by Azoria investment firm CEO James Fishback on Elon Musk's social media platform X. I guess we'll have to see if we actually get the Doge check. All right, what is this here? Oh, here's another one. U.S. government tries to rehire nuclear staff it fired just days ago. The U.S. government is trying to rehire nuclear safety employees it had fired on Thursday after concerns grew that their dismissal would jeopardize national security, U.S. media reported, and this comes from the BBC. The National Nuclear Security Administration, or the NNSA, were among hundreds of employees in the Energy Department who received their termination letters. The department is responsible for designing, building, and overseeing the U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile. The terminations are a part of a massive effort by Donald Trump to slash the ranks of the federal workforce, a project he began on his first day in office, which was a month ago. The U.S. media reported that 300 NNSA staff were let go, citing sources with knowledge of the matter. That number was disputed by a spokesperson for the Department of Energy who told CNN that less than 50 people were dismissed. The Thursday layoffs include staff stationed at facilities where nuclear weapons were built, according to CNN. The Trump administration has since tried to reverse their terminations, according to media outlets, but has reportedly struggled to reach the people that were fired after they were locked out of their federal email accounts. What a bunch of idiots. A memo sent to NNSA employees on Friday and obtained by NBC News read, and I quote, "The termination letters for some NNSA probationary employees are being rescinded, but we do not have a good way to get in contact with those personnel. Please work with your supervisors to send this information once you get it to people's personal contact emails," the memo added. Last week, nearly 10,000 federal workers were let go across several agencies, according to multiple U.S. outlets. That figure was in addition to an estimated 75,000 workers who accepted an offer from the White House to leave voluntarily. Trump is working to slash spending across the board, abroad and at home, and going so far as to call for eliminating the Education Department. He is getting help from the world's richest man, Elon Musk, who, through an effort called the Department of Government Efficiency, has sent workers to comb through data at federal agencies and help implement this buyout offer. Last week, the Trump administration ordered agencies to fire nearly all probationary employees in the federal government, those who had generally been in their positions for less than a year and not yet earned job protection. That includes the NNSA staff members. So these are the people that safeguard our nuclear arsenal. So, nobody steals a missile. Unbelievable. Altogether, the move could potentially affect hundreds of thousands of people employed by the federal government. Several of the Trump administration's efforts to shrink the government's size and spending have been met with some legal challenges. More than 60 lawsuits have been filed against the Trump administration since the president was inaugurated on January 20th, 2025. Take a break, come back, and I guess this will be our final segment. Rick, I know you're not drinking a Coca-Cola. Is that a Coca-Cola? What are you drinking, Rick? Is it liquor in there? Do you get drunk at work, Rick? I'm just curious.
The real question is, do you get drunk, Sherwin?
No. I don't like drinking early.
You don't like drinking hard liquor?
No, I do. I prefer hard liquor to other types because it just gets the job done, but I don't like drinking. I've never come to work. Okay, hang on. I've never drank before.
Think about it.
I've never drank before work. When I was in my younger days doing radio, I used to party like big time because I didn't really take the job nearly as seriously. So there were times where I would be out all night and I'd go do my radio show where Keon would be like, Sherwin, you smell like vodka. And he used to tell me I make the studio smell like liquor, but whatever. But as I got more seasoned in my position, I stopped.
I think all of us did that.
Consuming alcohol. Keon and I got drunk on the air once. It was.
Why would you admit that?
That was years ago. It was my birthday. And people used to bring me all sorts of stuff. You remember Mary Bryant? She brought me a bottle of Crown Royal. And Keon was like, you might as well crack it open. And we drank several shots of Crown Royal. I wouldn't. I don't know. It's difficult for people to come here because, they try and prevent people from coming. At WNOV, people could walk right in from 20th and Capitol. And sometimes there would be no front office staff. So it's just us in the studio. And the studio door was right off of the front main door. So you walk off of 20th and Capitol, and you could walk right to your right, and you could walk directly into the studio. And most of the time, the door wasn't locked. Because if we were the only two people in that studio, we couldn't leave where we were sitting to go and unlock the door. Rick, you remember that? People used to just walk in all the time.
I used to hate it. I used to hate that we was right in the front where people could see us, have access, all types of stuff. And, we right with big old window.
Homeless people would walk in.
And then when we doing like recording a commercial or whatever, you hear semi trucks in the background going past. Like
all the time.
I hated it. I'm like, who idea was this?
Yeah, that was the life back then. But people used to bring me stuff all the time. Gifts, cards, lots of alcohol. So I don't even know if I'm gonna be here on my birthday this year. Are you working on your birthday, Zach? You are? On that Thursday? Trying to decide what I want to do. Not sure. I know I'm not flying nowhere. I'm not falling out the damn sky. Wouldn't that be something? The plane that I get on, that's the one that falls out the sky? And then you always start all the conspiracy theories. All right, let me take this last break and end of this damn week. This week, I swear, it's felt like two. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be back for my last segment of the week.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You can go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school, college. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree, and you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than just stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and your doors are secure for years to come. Their expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. So if anything ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. So why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends February 28th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah, we've been knowing each other for a while. I'm into you. I don't know what I gotta do, to get closer to you.
Wait a minute. Now, you know I'm in a situation. Why are you even... Don't do this. Why are you tripping like that?
Well, I understand that, but your whole vibe is, I can see myself being with you forever.
That's really beautiful. And I kind of dig you, too. You know that. We're friends, and I'm in a situation. I'm in a relationship, and you know what that means.
Well, whatever I gotta do, I'll do for you.
Breaking news, Voletta Wallace, the mother of Notorious B.I.G., she's passed away at the age of 72. Truth Nation, our first annual Truth Community Awards is officially sold out. Thank you for your unwavering love and support. We can't wait to celebrate the 10 honorees who are making a real difference in our community with music by our very own Midwest mixer, Doc B. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. Your win is waiting. PaceBig.com to find out all they have to offer. And sponsored by Community Advocates. The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in all month long as we celebrate the voices, stories, and achievements that have shaped history and inspired the future. 1017 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Educators Credit Union, the Frederick Medical College of Wisconsin, and American Family Insurance. The award-winning 1017 The Truth is also the proud home of Milwaukee Panthers basketball. Tonight, the Milwaukee Panthers look to extend their winning streak to 3 games in a row as they head to Ohio to take on the Youngstown State Penguins. Ooh, Penguins. Scott Warris has the coverage tonight starting at 7:30 on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off is set for 8 o'clock. All right. Voletta Wallace passed away. That's sad news, isn't it? Let's see what we got here. She's reunited with her son again. The Notorious B.I.G.'s mom, Voletta Wallace, has died at the age of 72. Wallace passed away on Friday morning in her home in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. The Monroe County coroner, Thomas Yannick, confirmed to the Post B.I.G.'s mom spent her final days in hospice care, with the coroner revealing she died of natural causes. Wallace was a legend in her own right in the hip-hop community, raising B.I.G., real name Christopher Wallace, as a single mother in Brooklyn after his father walked out on the family in 1974. She was a Jamaican immigrant and worked as a school teacher. I think we need to play some Biggie. Let's see what we can get here. Rick, this is supposed to be your job. Let's see what we got. Does he have any clean stuff? That's not clean. That's not clean. That's not clean. Let's see here. Do we not have any? Oh, here's one. We'll play this one. This is a clean song.
When you want to be a DJ, huh?
I am a DJ.
Yeah. This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing.
To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter.
Yeah.
And to all my peoples. B.I.G. was murdered on March 9, 1997. After leaving a Soul Train Awards after party, he was shot dead in a drive-by while sitting in a green Chevy Suburban, which was parked on Wilshire Boulevard in L.A. 6 months earlier, B.I.G.'s rival Tupac Shakur had been killed, adding fuel to the already nasty East Coast, West Coast rap beef. This is all about him, not about his mother. Where's some stuff about his mother? No, they don't give us much about his mother. She was in hospice. She died of apparently natural causes at the age of 72. A hip-hop legend in her own right, Voletta Wallace, dead at the age of 72. All right. And not that I am assuming anything or thinking anything. I'm just a little curious. I'm a little worried. We have not heard from Miss Rose in a while. Ben, has Miss Rose called you and Carrie lately? Has she called Dr. Ken? Has she called Tori? Has she called Kyle? She's fine. She's just probably taking a break. She gets mad at me sometimes. You guys know me and Miss Rose have been arguing for a decade. Like, she'll call and she'll be very sweet. Oh, hello, I have a thought process. And then by the end of the phone call, she's screaming at me at the top of her lungs. So if anybody knows the whereabouts of Miss Rose or how she's doing, you know, she has been to all the Beyond the Mic. She didn't miss a single Beyond the Mic. And she doesn't even have a car. She takes the bus everywhere she goes. And what's some of y'all's excuses? Some of y'all have multiple cars, you don't come to the Beyond the Mics. We're going to start Beyond the Mic fairly soon. I think, well, we started last year, Memorial Day weekend, and we may not start until June. But they're going to be a little different. We're going to add a little more flavor, a little more flair, a little more pizzazz to Beyond the Mics. Now, remember, there's no summer in the city of Milwaukee. No. There is spring, there is winter, there's fall, and there's Beyond the Mic season. Looking forward to seeing everybody at our various events that we are going to have throughout the summer months with our Beyond the Mic music happy hour series. It's a lot of fun. That's where you guys met Al for the first time. So where I met Al for the first time, we did our first Beyond the Mic that Friday of Memorial Day weekend. I hope this is Miss Rose calling. And I looked and there was a line of people. I was like, oh, look, there's a line of people to meet me, Sherwin Hughes, the famous radio host. And the line was not to meet me. You know who the line of people was to meet? It was to meet Al. Ben, you was even over there, too, in line to meet Al, the 69 God. Who was that, Rick? Was that somebody with an update on Miss Rose?
No, somebody wanted to know if they could do poetry at Beyond the Mic.
I don't know. Do we know who that person was?
No, they just wanted to ask a question.
It's not an open mic. We might got to rename it because when we call it Beyond the Mic, people don't know what it is. Some people think it's a live broadcast. I got people that I work with that don't even know what Beyond the Mic is. It's not a radio show. It is where hosts and producers get together at different Black-owned restaurants and lounges around the city, and we chat, we hang out in a very social environment. We support a Black-owned business, a Black-owned restaurant, because a lot of y'all were complaining, Sherwin, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do in the city. And we got some wonderful, wonderful Black-owned establishments that I think are worthy of your patronage. So we'll keep you abreast when we start our Beyond the Mics, potentially in June. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace is up next.
You cannot look me in the face and tell me that America is the greatest country